Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to the United States Grand Prix. This is round number 19 of the 2022 World Championship in bronze. And we are here in the circuit of Kota. And I am really regretting not taking my sweatshirt off now. Which, by the way, it's an ALR sweatshirt as well. Which, of course, we just had a lovely little snippet there from the ALR store as well. Fantastic. Right, luckily, or for once, and my life, which should never happen again, I'm actually early for once, which means that before qualifying can start, I'm going to go through the drivers and the constructors' standings, and this is it, too good to miss. Then we got 164 points left up for grabs for the drivers, 279 points up for grabs in the constructors. Dynamo Dan leads the way, but Jinner is catching him now. The gap is down to 26 points, and oh, I love it. With just 6 races to go, Echo is now moved himself in the third position there, but unfortunately a stray Farf took him out last night, didn't he? So hopefully Echo, luckily Farf and Echo are not on the same piece of track here tonight. New Potato has got issues with his throttle pedal, which is a disappointing blow for New Potato. He is down in 4th mode. Serious Musher is now only 3 points away from New Potato and can snatch that 4th position if things go his way. 6th position is TK. Then he's at home. Remember, he had a very good race here in Miami, didn't he? And remember, Fangio had a very good race in Miami and dominated last night, didn't he? So is that the way it's going to play out here tonight then? Potentially. Marsky in 7th position with Styles in 8th position. Sick as Muck in 9th, and Brooksy completes the top 10 then. In the Constructors' Championship, Alpine leads the way on 135 points. In the Championship, it's not going to be decided here tonight, but I think it can be decided in a week's time in Mexico? We're in Mexico, yeah. Ferrari are second at one end. They don't want that to happen, do they? They're currently 50 points in front of Alfa Romeo in 3rd position. Luke has left the session to discuss then, so he's not happy about Alfa Romeo. 4th position is the Haas team. They're 5 points away from the Alfa Romeo. And then it's so tight here because then we got 10 points adrift of the Haas team is the Alfa Tauri in 5th position. Red Bull are in 6th, 40 points beyond the Alfa Tauri, their sister team. Mercedes 19 points away from the Red Bull team. Williams are 24 points away from the Mercedes. Aston Martin in the 9th position. Unfortunately, they have not got to the 100-point mark yet. They kind of need to pull their socks up if they want to get that sorted. McLaren, very unlikely they're going to get to the 100, to the triple figures, unfortunately. A horror show season for the McLaren team. It is been quite disappointing indeed. Over the past 2 days, the Alpha Tauri's extended their lead over the Aston Martin team. It's now 312 points. No, it isn't. Alpha Tauri have extended their lead over the Aston Martin team. It's now 312 points then. In front of the green mean fighter machine. Then McLaren are in 3rd position. Then they've been really good, especially Boxstar has really dragged that team up into 3rd now. Alpine has had a horror show. The opening 2 races around here. They're now down into 4th position. 21 points adrift on McLaren. Haas team are in 5th position. Alpha Tauri, I thought it was the Haas team coming out there. Haas are in 6th position. Ferrari in 7th, and then it's Red Bull are in 7th position. Then 3 points in front of the Mercedes team. Alfa Romeo in 8th position, and Williams are in 9th and 27 points away. And I have done that before. We've got a first lap in then, so I am going to give myself a self-high five for that. Luke is back in the session. That is fantastic stuff indeed. What else is fantastic? Well, Winnie is the new driver driving in the Ferrari. Love the helmet by Brooksy. Oh yes, I love that. Winnie is the new Ferrari driver then, as he has take the place of Bullet, who I would thought was going to be driving here tonight, which I can't see him then. So so he left Ferrari and then he did vote to reserve, but yeah, Woody's not in here. Instead, we got a couple of reserves in tonight. We got Sloppy Seconds, hell of a guy. We've also got Harlow's Fowles in the Aston Martin. We got Luke 290332. And I think that's it for the reserves, isn't it? Hang on, let me get the old is it monocoque or what? I want those one-eyed glass things, and I'm not too sure. Anyways, we come up the hill now. Then, thank you very much for joining us. Nosy Bronze Beast, Diamond Dan, time in hand, baton. Time to hand the baton over then. Diamond Dan saying maybe not then next week. Then my game is so disgusting crashed. Then let's go TK home Grand Prix, home victory. Yes, indeed. Then TK, then he's only got 1 win this season, but my goodness me, he's so good in qualifying, isn't he? We'll take a look at some of the stats in a minute as well. Talking of incredible stats. I was doing the silver stats earlier on. Then I should have let Nosy know last night, but unfortunately I was in bed, with my sniffles. Fanjo is I like this stat. Then that's what I'm going to read aloud. So Fanjo has started 31 races in ALR Silver, won 10 of them, so he's won a third of his races, but unfortunately he's also retired 10 races as well, so he's won 10 of, so he's basically, that's his career so far. He's 1/3 of his career has been winning, and then the other third, unfortunately, has been on the sidelines there for Fanjo, but his I think his pole positions stands at like 19 pole positions in 31 starts. That is ridiculous, absolutely fantastic. I don't think anyone's going to beat that qualifying start in silver for a very, very long time indeed. Talking of incredible qualifying this season, TK has been absolutely a magician, hasn't he, in qualifying? 7 pole positions, that's not magical there. Oh, and Brooks, he's gone into the barrier quite badly in the rear posterior. He's got a 38, but I don't think he's concerned about that. He needs to be concerned about his rear end because that was a hell of a hit to the back. And unfortunately, that could cost him. If he's got damage, that is going to. He will be alright for the race, but that is going to be absolutely horrific stuff there for Brooksy. Remember, last time out, I'm sure he scored a podium, didn't he? Or was that the week before? For some reason, I'm getting my weeks completely mixed up these days. TK is now in third position. Echo has gone into second fast running with the beautiful Mario Andretti helmet. He wasn't too keen on my on my thoughts, which was to go with the legendary Scott Speed helmet. Then, of course, Echo has been doing his 6 as much as 4 fastest on the medium compound tyres. Echo has been doing a helmet. Has been doing a helmet associated with that Grand Prix per race end. So, for example, in Singapore, he went with Fernando Alonso helmet. And of course, I would have kept that if I was him, to be fair, if I was Echo, because that was his race. That was the race where he won, wasn't it, for Echo? And he could potentially be going up to silver next season as well, especially since he's in the final promotion spot. But I do, unfortunately, with New Potato, the first ALR Bronze champion, unable to participate in the last couple of races, I think that Echo is only going to be concerned about Serious Mushroom. So, and Serious Mushroom, who has been on a good rich run of form. I'll get his form book up in a minute, as where Dynamo Dan, the championship leader, has come into the pits. Kiki going through the slalom section of the first sector. Itemizar back with us this week after having a sabbatical last week. I don't know what he was doing last week, Itemizar, but it's great to have him back in the car. Remember, he's the one of a unique set of drivers to win on their debut in ALR. And what a place to do it in. Was it in the Belgian Grand Prix, the best racetrack in the world? Here comes Kiki. Oh, goodness me, he just shaved me. Evening, Serious Mushroom, and of course, talking to Serious Mushroom, remember he is 5th in the championship, and the last time out, he got 9th position, but I think Serious Mushroom has scored, every time he's finished, he has scored in a race, apart from the first race in Bahrain. So very good stuff indeed then, and I don't want to say this stat about Farf, but I'm going to. But of course, up until the race in Japan, Farf had actually finished every single race, and unfortunately, he's had 2 DNFs in a row now. Poor Farf has. Starts retired from the session now, so that's a shame for Farf. I think that it's been Farf's most complete season in ALR. The only thing he hasn't done this season is he what? Kiki has gone fast, as of course. Kiki is very good in qualifying, isn't he? Race trim, it has been a bit more difficult for Kiki. I've got to check to see if Farf won a race in silver. If Alex in the comments, hopefully, can help me out with that. But I was going to say that Farf has had a very good season, actually. Really has indeed done. Anyway, enough about that. It's on to bronze, I think, isn't it? And here comes Fallows, who is in the Aston Martin car 34 with the default helmet there. So unfortunately, Fallows does get a negative point from my point of view. However, he ain't going to care too much about that because my opinions do not matter whatsoever, do they? Here's Luke, who has a beautiful helmet. Actually, I love that helmet. Bit of red in, I think it's that chrome or white there. Whatever the case may be, it's a cracking helmet design there for Luke in the Red Bull racing machine. Farf is out driving the car. We've always got sun brightness is killing me, Dynamo Dan is saying. As Luke now just coming underneath me as well. Now into the final corner for Luke, who I think has reserved before. I'm gonna have to get my specs out. Goodness gracious me! I think it's because I'm just a tired old ginger today. That's probably what it is. And as we are here, it's for follow as Harlow has spun the car. Of course, we had a lot of spinners around there in gold on Sunday, and well, exactly the same thing has happened here tonight as well. And Marsky has spun as well at the it's at the Salem section there. Marsky is parked and he needs to get going. Everyone's coming disqualified, so he needs to get going ASAP here. I'm glad Serious Rush is in the comments there, isn't he? Because I always seem to embarrass myself when it comes to drivers' names. Then it's follows as in a baby horse. Then. I thought baby horse was just a baby horse, to be honest. So, yeah. Oh, goodness me. But then again, I'm not a man who knows much about the animal kingdom, to be fair, even though my favourite childhood film was The Lion King. Absolutely fantastic film that was. Mainly probably because I did look very similar to Pumbaa. Watching Dynamo Dan, who's just, I love that shot as it comes over the crest hill. Here's the championship leader, really getting it into, really he needs to get a good qualifying performance, doesn't he? As I mentioned already though this season, Dynamo Dan's Achilles heel has been at the qualifying session. He's not been on pole position at all yet this season, but pole position has been at Poison Chalice this season. With not many drivers seeming to convert it then. Foal as in bowl. Okay, thank you. Goodness me. You can tell I'm not an educated man, can't you? Gosh. Yeah, all I'm good at is, well, I'm not really good at F1 to be fair, but all I know is it's about cars and all that kind of stuff. But anything else I get completely confused by. Watching Dynamo Dan then, he's coming through turn 18 now on the soft compound tyres. And they're just on board then. And just as we coming back into the final turn, and Jim has gone pole position so far of 33.8 there with just half the session to go now. Dynamo Dan fifth faster, which is kind of his average qualifying performance, isn't it, of this season. TK has now decided to turn it up a notch, go on the soft compound tyres, and let's see what the American driver can do then. In the American car, goes second fastest there, but he is still 3/10 of a second away from Jenner, which I'm quite surprised by, to be honest, because I thought he was going to be let loose there, wasn't he? I'm just messing, Sean. Sorry, don't worry about that. Serious messes me as much as what that. It's just my appalling education. Remember, I do have an IQ of 69. Watching Kaz, who is coming into turn 19. Last week was the first time that Kaz missed the race all season now, which is so unfortunate for Kaz, because we do love to see our favourite Canadian driver. He goes 8 fast as well in the Aston Martin. Lovely 17. I apologise, Luke, because I can't get to your comment now, because YouTube have got this lovely new bar where you can like send hearts and stuff, but I can minimize it. Fantastic. Who would have thought then technology and all that jazz? Fantastic. Right, as hang on a minute. So Luke's saying, excuse me, can I see the track on the back straight? Can we rectify this by making it brighter? Luke Chapman is saying. Well, goodness me, you can't get any brighter than that. Vintage saying, well, my word, you're going to have to get the old you have to get the old sunglasses out, ain't you? Goodness me, going down that back straight as Vintage. Goodness me, that is blimey bright indeed. I remember one year as oh no, Dynamo Dan, what's happened? He's had a collision with his championship rival Jenner. Oh goodness gracious me, I cannot shout too much because my voice is killing. But Dynamo Dan has had an issue and is unfortunately been given a 5-place grid penalty, and goodness gracious me, what has happened? It looks like them two have come to blows coming into the pits then. Oh my gosh, then. Oh dear, we got drama before the race has even started here, and golly gosh, And Dynamo Dan is going to have a 5-place grid penalty wherever he starts now. So that is absolute. Oh, and that's a nightmare as well. It's the Alpine has gone around. I think that was a very good save from Itemizer. Unfortunately, we didn't see much of that because we had a bit of we had this camera shot here where the graphic was in front of it. Hang on, Nosey is about to explain to me what. It's into the pits comes Kiki. I can't keep up with this action. Goodness gracious me. Oh, and almost the same problem. I assume it's the same problem as the championship leader there. Goodness gracious me. So, yes, there's drama already coming to the pit lane. I thought that this was going to be one of the easier entries into the pit lane. Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. Give me more of that shot. Thank you very much, Mr. Director. Sigur's Mutt there going through the S's as well. Marski's on a quick lap as well. We got Vintage out there, which I've actually ignored him, which is shocking. There he is, Vintage in the Williams. Goal as in call as in shawl, all the same as fall. But he said follows instead, laugh out loud. So it is fall, isn't it? So yeah, fall. Yeah, if you give me complicated nickname, if you give me complicated names instead of call sign, I'm going to struggle. But then again, it's not really a complicated name at all, is it? Really, it's just my pronunciation of being an old harsh or that kind of stuff. But ooh, 69, nice. It is, isn't it? There, I think it just kind of sums me up, really, doesn't it? Across the line there comes the Vintage going for ninth fastest. Sick as muck is 1.3 seconds up in the second split there. Luke saying, I can see this going to be quiet and relaxing race set. Jenner parked in the pit lane and not an amused. I think that is a very unamused face there from Dynamo Dan. Tactics, Serious Mush was saying, we also seen another incident very similar, but this is going to be an imperative. This could be a major plot here in the World Championship for bronze. If that 5-place group penalty is going to hurt Dynamo Dan, and we could be looking at this race at the end of the season, like looking back on this one, and this one could be, excuse me, and this one could be, as Marcy goes a little faster, 11 faster said, and this could be a major storyboard that is going to happen in this championship then. Hello and good luck to the drivers there from Kaz. Welcome back, Kaz. We missed you last week. And as we've got yellow flags out there for one of the Alpha males that's just backing off. And D-Mac hasn't set a time just yet. Hopefully we'll soon. I think that was D-Mac's first DNF of the season last week, wasn't it? Which is unfortunate for D-Mac since he returned to ALR and come to bronze. I think he's been a revelation. He should have won on his return to ALR in Belgium, but with 1 lap to go there, it just went a bit wrong. Turn 8, I think it was, wasn't it? Just before the corner, a known name, and Itemizer did pick up the win there, which was it was very refreshing to see two newest drivers there really fighting it out then. But I think that but this season has definitely been about Jinner and Dynamo Dan, has it there, with Dynamo Dan then being Mr. Consistent whilst Jinner being fast, but unfortunately coming into unsticky situations there, which has caused all kinds of problems, hasn't it? Hang on a minute. Serious Mushroom. Fall as in goal like Coop as in go. Fall as in goal as like a Coop as in. Jenner for the win. Sam Green saying, welcome to the stream, Sam Green, who has had a fantastic season. He really has. Coming across the line there for a win. He's about to start his lap. I think Echo's actually starting his lap. So we've only got 2 minutes to go. What am I talking about? Let's get going, shall we? Here he is. It is Echo in 5th position. Of course, one of our newest winners to a Grand Prix race in ALR this season. Echo, one of the a very unsteady car. He's going to lose an almighty amount of momentum down the back straight. I was wondering if he might back off here and have another bite of the cherry. Itemizer is also on a quick lap as well, but he's in front. Jinner's on an outlap from Milton. We've got an Aston Martin out there as well. There's also a Haas car of TK on a lap. So it's Echo who's coming the first start. I love that helmet. I do love that helmet indeed. A goal as in Foles is retired from Foles as in goal is retired from the session there. I think you guys know how to chat to me now, don't you? As I seem to that's the only way you can get through to me. It's just got rhyming words, really, isn't it? There, I've got to say, I think even my two-year-old nephew has got more intelligence than I have. Out of the final turn there, which of course that's no shade on that. Echo across the line, 10 for a second improvement, but I do feel that he lost a lot of time down that back straight. Automoto has gone full fastest in the Alpine machine. What about the McLaren driver, I hear you are saying? Well, Kiki's invalidated, so, but he's got one more bite of the cherry. He's even got a full allocation of ERS. As has Dynamo Dan as well. Red Bull of Luke is just coming into the final sector as well to start his lap. What about Winnie then? So Winnie is invalidated his time. If he has enough time, he has 20 seconds, but he needs to harvest now like anything if he wants to get that battery up, and if he wants to get a good run. Because he's only got 50% here. That is not going to be enough for a full beans lap then. Across the line he comes, and he's going to start a lap now. Jinner's invalidated his time. Oh my gosh, and that could be Jinner, who may have thrown away pole position here. That would have been Jinner's third pole position. This man is on 7th pole position so far this season, TK. He's 2/10 of a second up. That is in the ballpark then at the pole position time set by the Alpine driver of Jinner, of course, second in the World Championship. Oh golly gosh, here comes TK now then as he comes into turn 18, and turn 18's been a bit of a obstacle for these F1 2022 machines over the past couple of days. Into turn 20 as well for the ALS car. Accelerates away, and DRS right on the money, and GK is on pole position. I said TK, I tell you. Echo's had a major spin in the final corner, and that is a shame for Echo. He could be dropping down the order. Here comes Kiki. Look at that sun there, and that's a Mercedes off in the background. I didn't see who it was. I think it was D-Mac. Across the line, Kiki stays third fastest. D-Mac didn't get a time on the board. What about Dynamo Danny goes fifth fastest there. Brooks is retired from the session. There's yellow flags there. Luke then, who's invalidated as well, unfortunate for Luke. And I think Whitney is the going to be the final man to come across the line now. But it is TK on pole position then for the United States Grand Prix. That is exactly what the Winnie's off the circuit in 13th position there. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. Not about Winnie going off the circuit, but TK 8th pole position of the season. Magnificent stuff for himself and for the Haas team. Is that was a very edgy end then to that qualifying session now. As I think that you found that all the drivers are very much going who's going for all, weren't they, right in the very end there, which is exactly what qualifying should be about, isn't it? But it is TK taking his 8th pole position of the season there, and the 8th of his career as well. Magnificent stuff indeed there for TK there. Magnificent. Luke Chapman and D-Mac Wash, that yours sincerely, your former HD teammate, me. Oh, goodness gracious me. Fire, I tell you, fire. Would have been fourth if I didn't invalidate it. Damn it, Luke is saying that. So that's a bit unfortunate for Luke, but he does still start 7th position, which will be 6th in the end. We got and Jinner's got a 5-place grid penalty. So goodness me, I didn't realise that. I thought it was just Dynamo Dan. The two championship protagonists are going to be starting 5 places back on the grid, which means that TK and Kiki, who I'm sure is on the front row in Japan a week ago, are going to be on the front row again. Goodness gracious me. But I think that the story of this one has been Jinner and Dynamo Dan in the pit lane has had issues there, and I'm wondering how that is going to play out in the race there. Is the drivers going to be fuming at each other? Are they going to be able to keep that cool? I gotta say, if that happened to me, I'll probably turn the game off and go to bed, but usually I'm on career mode. I'm not an expert like these drivers there. TK, that was my ninth pole career. I had one in silver as a reserve, TK said. Very good stuff indeed. However, I'm only in bronze mode tonight, my good sir. But yeah, I think you've got. I'll check that out a bit later on then. But yes, TK is 8th pole position of the season in bronze, and his 8th pole position as a bronze driver. Nonetheless, of course, I don't do the whole tally thing and stuff like that. But yes, unless of course you ask me nicely in the driver paddock, of course, which I will do. However, I think that Nosey is working on getting like all the stats. Or getting all the stats into Discord somehow and things like that, but Nosey is a Discord expert, and I don't even know how to open Discord some of the time. Right, here we go then. This is the start of the United States Grand Prix. Let's take a... Jinner is down to 6th then, so we've got 2nd position on the grid, but that's a 5-place grid penalty for the man who's second in the championship. Whilst Dynamo Dan started qualified 5th, down in 10th position, the heart of the midfield. Dynamo Dan is. That is not ideal, is it? He's in the carbon fibre zone as the Ferrari driver. However, the Dynamo Dan fans out there, do not worry too much, because Dynamo Dan has been an expert in navigating his way through the field over the season as well. Because as I said, his Achilles heel has been qualifying, but he's so good in the race trim, isn't he? Soft tyres then for Kaz, for Marsky and Winnie. I'm surprised to see soft tyres there. Medium tyres for D-Mac, for Cirrus Mushroom, for Foals, as in goals. And then we got Vintage, Luke, Echo, Itemizer and Kiki. Everyone else is on the hard compound. And it's Kiki, TK is 9th pole position of his career, his 8th pole position of his career as a bronze driver. His pole position alongside him is Kiki, who's got 2 pole positions this season. 3rd position is Itemizer, a Grand Prix winner already. Itemizer is a quick customer indeed. Alpine cannot win the Constructors' Championship today. However, they can win the Constructors' Championship in a week's time in Mexico, if it all goes our way. Echo in 4th. 5th position is Luke, Super 7 tonight. 6th position is Jenner. Love the helmet for Jenner. However, that incident in the pit lane has really hurt him, because he was coming on the front row. Now he's down in 6th position, and he is the man who's starting on the hard tyres. 7th position is Sick as Muck, also on the hard compound tyres as well. Kaz is going to be a rocket in the opening couple of laps here. It's a short run up into turn 1 there, but he will be able to brake much later then, as there's a steep incline there. Well, it's a steep incline for every driver, not just for Kaz, but he is on the softer tyre. Vintage is in the middle of the park in terms of on the medium compound tyres. Dynamo down in 10th position now, leading the championship, but it's 26 points the gap is now with just 6 races to go. That's a Alpine off the circuit there. Marsky in a 11th position. I think that's the championship, the second man in the championship as well. Marsky 11th, Foles in 12th position there. Winnie 13th, Brooksy in 14th position, Mushroom in 15th, Sloppy seconds in 16th position, Collins in 17th, back to where it all started in the Alfa Romeo. 18th position is Styles. Said we got a disqualification there. Styles is, I thought he got stopped completely in the wrong grid box there. Mack in 19th position. Scooby Stew brings up the rear in 20th position there. Damn it! Oh, sorry. I've read that comment there. That was from Luke, as I thought that was a new comment there. And D-Mac runs up 19th for the United States Grand Prix here in Kota. We're in the music capital of the world. Here for bronze for one final time in the United States on F122. It is go, go, go. And a great start for Itemizer. Kiki has had a terrible start, and he's already down to 5th position. A poorly start, just like it was a week ago in the Japanese Grand Prix. And they all got away safe and sound. Then we had a huge shunt on the opening lap last night, but it all looks fine. And Danny Lucas up for competition. Sickers Marcus, and that's a massive crash, and it's Winnie out of the race. Winnie is out of the Grand Prix. Sickers Mark down the order, and that's 3-4 cars involved here. Brooksy's out of the race as well. There's more action there. Look, Brooksy's car is completely gone then, and Styles there has been involved in the action as well. It's a terrible start. It's a safety car here, and it's all done and dusted before he's even got past the first couple of turns. And Itemizer been in second position there, but Kiki again great in qualifying. Poland in the race there. He had an appalling start. Once again to Kiki, and that is devastating indeed there for Kiki and for the McLaren team as well. He did a great recovery drive in Japan a week ago, but this is not on the books, that is it. Marsky and Kaz using those soft tyres to their advantage, moving themselves up into 6th and 9th position there. Safety car is out there. I wonder if the soft runners may come into the pits there and change to a different compounded tyre. Winning out the race, Brooks out the race as well. They didn't even complete it. They didn't even get past the first intermediate split time here. Both drivers are out the race, and both drivers are going to be very unhappy with that. Sick as Muck dropping down the order as well. Yeah, 15 positions out for Kiki. He was on the front row of the grid. Started second. We also had Sick as Muck right up in the action as well. He's drawn to 11th position. D-Mac, who was 19th on the grid, has found himself up into 8th position. Scooby Stew up 7th position as well. Brooksy was had contact with Marsky, so we're going to see a lot of action coming into the pits. And as in into the pits comes Kaz. We've got both Aston Martins in, Dynamo Dan in the pits as well. So of course, as much as we want to focus on all drives, look, there's a wingless Ferrari here, and he's onto the medium tires now. This is a nightmare race for start to the race then, especially for Foles, then, who's also had to change his nose cone here. He's coming back up now. Styles then also changing the nose cone. Sick as muck as well. There is 4 or 5 drivers that have been in the pits here on the opening lap then. So a nightmare start, and same for Dynamo Dan here. Dynamo Dan then is going to have a bit of a sinking feeling. Not only a 5-place grid penalty, but now down in 16th position. We're focusing on Dynamo Dan. Kaz has left the session. We're focusing on Dynamo Dan a lot because remember that he is fighting in the World Championship. If you just joined us, welcome to the broadcast. Dynamo Dan, 5-place grid penalty in qualifying after him and Jiddo came the blows into the pit entrance. And now he's had to pit along with Kaz, Harlow, Styles, and Sick as muck. Then so 5 drivers into the pit. We only had about 1 or 2 corners of action then before the safety car came out. Unfortunately. So then, how is this safety car going to play out then for the drivers then? Started on the mediums, hards, and the soft tyres as well. Only 1 driver on the soft tyres. Now, Kaz came to the pits as relinquished 6th position, I think it was up to. Marsky, the only driver not to come to the pits there. As you heard, Marsky and Brooksy has come to blows in the opening a few corners in this race, and that has taken Brooksy out of this race. And I don't think Marsky was damaged, but we also seen Styles trying to recover as well, unfortunately. But Styles, that's why he's down in 70th position. Styles is remember, he's had a great second half of the season. Styles has. Hopefully he continue it tonight, but it's going to be very difficult. But this safety car is certainly going to play into the hands of some drivers here tonight, whilst others it may have hindered It's too early though, I think, to really go for, to really show a curveball in terms of strategy. Oh, I didn't know there was football on tonight. I think that we got Leicester and Leeds playing. Goodness me, fantastic! Goodness me, it just shows how great Liverpool's having this season, doesn't it? Goodness me. Anyway, enough about the football. Because more importantly than that, Formula 1 is back after a month off, and my goodness me, I am so happy. Albeit we do have a sprint race, but hey, Formula 1 is there. I'm not a fan of the sprint races. I think me, Emerson, Knowlesy, Echo, and I think it was Cryptic Alibi was having a good old chit chat earlier on today about the sprint. They got a new. I thought the safety car was coming in then, but of course we're not even halfway around yet. Of course they got a new sprint format now, haven't they? Only 1 practice session, so it's practice and qualifying for the race on Sunday. Will happen on Friday, and then on Saturday it's the sprint qualifying, and I think there's like 12, 10, and 8 minutes of qualifying sessions there. So Q1 12, Q2 10, and Q8 and Q3 8 minutes there, and you have to qualify on medium, then soft for Q3 if you get the cut of my jib. Then it's the race itself, which the sprint race has not been altered out. I think it's still 1,000 kilometres or something like that. Don't have to make a mandatory pit stop, and the race itself also been untouched as well. But it's just the qualifying results from Friday. And of course, Knowles did mention there, there's very good safety cars in this lap. Then I'll just finish off this then. Emerson saying he liked it with just 1 qualifying session there, which I do agree as well. Knowles is saying that some teams would probably just focus on the race and won't bother with the sprint, which I would personally, if I was a Gunther Steiner or a Frank or a what's his name? Frank Toss, goodness me. Aston Masters, personally, I'm looking forward to the sprint format. Aston Masters saying that. Yeah, thank you very much, Aston Masters. I'm not personally, but then again, I'm quite old, you see. I'm quite old, you see, and I don't like to break tradition, kind of thing. I'll take an extra qualifying session in 100 kilometer sprint over 2 hours of practice any day. Aston Masters saying that. To be honest, I'm probably dead wrong about it because I think the sprint race last in Brazil was fantastic. I'll come back to that in a minute, Aston Masters, because we go racing once again on lap 3. Oh no, Collins is out of the race, and I think he's crashed where Troy had an incident, didn't he, on Sunday in gold, but this time, unlike Troy, who was able to continue, Collins is out of the race there, and I wonder if his tires were just not quick enough, were they? Sloppy Seconds has had an issue as well. He is dropping down the order, and he's down to the back of the grid. Sloppy Seconds is there, so terrible for Sloppy Seconds. Jinner all over the back of Echo now. Jinner trying to get himself back through the field then. Remember, with his Diamond Dance had to come into the pits and drop down a third full position from where he started. Jinner is now very much all over the back now of the Alfa Romeo. Itomizer has caught his left possession. Itomizer has dropped down to full position. I think he's made a mistake. He has made a mistake because he's now behind his teammate. Jinner now in the third position. He passes Echo and through he goes, and Echo's going to have much more purchase. There he goes. He flies past Jinner because he is on the medium tyres, but I think also he just positioned his car nicely. But here comes Jinner again then. And look at this, we've got a bit of slipstream now with Itomizer having issues earlier on the lap. Then he is also he's also struggling at the back there. And Itomizer dropped down to sixth position. D-Mac having a sniff as well in seventh, but Itomizer giving a brutal old shot there, but D-Mac having a great race back up in the seventh position now. Marsky would probably like to use these soft tyres quickly here, so smash number to 9th, and Scooby Stew also into the top 10 as well. Great stuff, but Marsky on soft tyres. He's going to make hay whilst the sun is shining. On board now with Marsky as he comes into turn 19 and 20. Dropping off ever so slightly down, so we're on lap 5 of the race. TK is sprinting away. Goodness me, he's 1.5 seconds in front already after that. After one lap, I may add as well. Fantastic. Sloppy Seconds, we're not sure what happened, if there's a throttle problem or something. Remember that throttle problem happened for New Potato last week, and that's why he's not racing at the moment, because there are issues with the hardware, unfortunately. I have issues of hardware of my own then, but that is a bit personal for this stream here tonight. D-Mac leads the way then as he goes in, he's in 6th position, I say, but he's leading this gaggle of cars in front of Itomizer. Jinner once again, and as Marsky has got past Itomizer, and didn't even, well, we just moved away from that, so unless it was a snap of oversteer there from Itomizer, but he's had a terrible, absolutely hellacious start to this safety car, and in a safety car, and is really struggling. And look at it, it's the medium runners now. Itomizer's down tonight. Alpine is looking very grubby on the left-hand side then. We're looking at back from the rear posterior of Itomizer. And the car is struggling, isn't he? He's struggling. He's dropping down the order on the medium tyres as well. We've also seen as Dynamo Dan makes his way past cars, moves himself up into 12th position, does the former HD champion of Division 6 there, flying nicely. Oh, Scooby Stew's not flying. He has had a bit of a spin there and has lost 2 positions. He's out of the points headed. In comes Cars, having a look, and Dynamo Dan there, almost meeting the Cars and Scooby Stew sandwich there. But I think Dynamo Dan is through then. Now Scooby Stew has got to defend there from Cars as well. Oh, I love the curb shots, fantastic. DRS has now been able just to add more anarchy into this Grand Prix. Into the pits comes Itomizer, so there is damage on the Alpine car. I know that is a shame there, isn't it, there for Itomizer. He's dropping down the order then, and that was a big blow indeed. Car said he could get the move done earlier on then when Scooby Stew was all at sea. He is now up into 11th position then. He is, but Scooby Stew's having none of it then. But unfortunately, Scooby Stew has had to yield amid defeat for this time anyway. But we'll see how this trend transpires for Scooby Stew if he can get himself back through. But he is on the hard tires, Scooby Stew is then. So he's going to be playing the long game. And here comes Hollow Fowles and Falls, Goals, I said Falls, and he is now into 13th position there. Of course, one of our newer drivers, I think he's only raced a couple of times in ALR, hasn't he? Yellow flag and Sloppy Seconds out of the race, and it's a full safety car again. Sloppy Seconds has had a nightmare race. I'm not sure if there was issues with Sloppy Seconds there, whereas he just lost all drive on the pit straight, and now he is out of the race. Has 4 retirements already. Remember, we only had 3 last night, and in gold we had no retirements at all, but tonight we've had 4 in 6 laps around here. Now TK is going to get very annoyed at this, saying this could be hurting his strategy. Remember, the hard to the medium tyre strategy was the perfect strategy on Sunday. However, it is not feeling too perfect with all these safety cars and all the disruptions in this race. So what's TK going to do? It's too early to go in the pits for the hard runners. It's not though for it's not though for the medium runners of Luke Echo. Jitter has stayed out as well, so everyone else is coming into the pits, and they've got a big advantage now. Hard tyres is on for Luke. Hard tyres will be coming on for a lot of the other drivers as well, I am sure of it. Into the pits comes Echo. So look how dusty the pit apron is here tonight then. And goodness me, I think someone's going to get out of the old broom, I think then. Goodness me, but I think it's a bit too late as it's the third and final day here. Echo out there, D-Mac out. Marsky is on the medium tyres now, so Marsky's going for an aggressive strategy here. I think we got a very impressive young driver that debuted last night in Speed Kai, I think it was, and he went for an aggressive strategy, soft, medium, soft, I think his strategy was, and I'm wondering if Marsky's doing something similar like that, but Speed was exactly that. He was speedster last night, wasn't he? This safety car is going to really help I think that. So guys then come in the pits after this safety car paired as TK and Jinner, Vintage, Sirius Mushroom and Kiki. Diamond Down's in the pits in the first stint, not this safety car now, but he's in 6th with Kaz similar, he's 7th. Scooby Stew's not pitted yet, nor is Harlow in 9th position there. Oh, I'm so sorry. 9th position. Goodness gracious me. That snuck up from me. Yes, go back to the sprint race, which I was having a good one now with Acid Masters. Acid Masters was looking forward to the sprint race there because he said that I'll take an extra qualifying session over a 100-kilometer race over 2 hours of free practice any day. To be fair, there was now only one practice session. As Emerson said, there's only one practice session now. It's going to make the race a lot more interesting, isn't it? Because you notice that the more practice sessions you have, Ben, the more sometimes when practice session is disrupted by the rain or anything like that, or red flags or something like that, it does make the race a lot more exciting. So I got to say, with one practice session, I reckon it's going to be a doozy. And yeah, the sprint races, I'm just a traditionalist, I must say, as a Masters. I'm like one of those old people. I'm one of those old guys in my big old armchair, just waving my stick around like that kind of thing. Yeah, I personally don't like the sprint races. However, I must say that Brazil was a great race last season, wasn't it? Fantastic race last season in Brazil, and I think that was down to the sprint race being good as well. I remember as well because Kevin Magnussen on pole position, wasn't he? In that incredible qualifying session. Into the pits comes Kaz now, and he is going for an aggressive strategy as well. Just one free practice one then, and a lot of car upgrades, excitement to the weekend, as the Master said. Exactly, because the teams are only going to have 1 hour to determine if their upgrades are going to be any good or not, and then they got to decide whether to risk it or not. Of course, we've all seen about Mercedes issues, haven't we? They're saying, oh, it's great on the computer or great in the wind tunnel and all that kind of malarkey, but on track they didn't realise about the porpoise until it was a bit too late, wasn't it? And until it was a bit too late. TK, who is currently leading the way, but yeah, I do agree with that. Though I do like the one practice. Actually, I really like that because I think the whole race is going to be good, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a cracking race. But I'm still remain to be sold on the idea. Fair enough, I understand. Weighted. Fair enough. I understand keeping the F1 traditional, but I think it's a positive for more entertainment. It is, and you get more bang for your buck as well, don't you? I mean, the spectators will definitely get a lot more racing, won't they? And I think that that's exactly what you want, isn't it? Is you want more racing. To be honest, as much as I don't like it, you know what I'm still going to be doing? I'm still going to watch it. So I just like to moan. But no, I'm moaning and arm really. I'm a traditionalist, but I'll still watch it because I'm just a massive F1 nerd. But yeah, I do agree with you, Aston Masters. I think that having one practice session with literally no time to sort out their car upgrades, and also it literally is going to be fantastic, isn't it? I think the sprint race around Baku is going to be fantastic as well, just because the fact is, if you said the sprint races in Baku and F2 a couple of years ago, that was ridiculous. Hopefully I'll have something the same as well. But yeah, looking forward to that. Cannot wait. It's going to be a cracking race indeed. I like this one as well. I'm going to be honest, I could talk to Aston Martin all night about real F1, but we do. But of course, TK has had enough of my chit chat, hasn't he? He wants to get on with the racing, and I'm sure you folks at home wants to get on with the racing as well. Let's get going, shall we? We're on lap 8, and to complete lap 9 in this race, and here we go then. TK once again sprinted away, but now he's got Jenner behind. Scooby Stew, similar problem, and he's lost the whole wing lane. Similar problem to Collins, and Scooby Stew damaged the car, and that's a big blow. Dynamo Danny's got past Kiki. Kiki's had a terrible start. Look, because Harlow Falls has gone through, even with that default helmet, and he's up into 6th position there. Kiki is going to have to yield. He does yield, and we got D-Mike getting past Echo as well. That is 4th position, but Echo's having another battle, and he's having a look there, but no dice as we go through the S's as well. Into the, we go left, right, don't we? Oh, magnificent. I've got to say, TK is absolutely nailed the safety car restarts. Remember that in America, they do specialize in the rolling restarts, don't they? I wonder if TK has been doing some practice in there. But I think that TK's had he's had such a good qualifying this year, but the races have just not transpired. But I do feel TK has really started to get into the groove in the final stage of this championship. I do think he has an outside chance of getting into that final promotion spot, especially with New Potato having issues there with the throttle on his wheel and pedals. And at the moment, then we also have some Serious Mushroom and Echo standing in his way that promotion spot as well. But Echo down in 11th position there, and Serious Mushroom has made it up to 4th position, but he will be pitted in the not too distant future. Luke all over the back here. Luke is the highest runner to pit and go on to the hard tyres until the end of the race. I don't think he's going to need to come back into the pit, you know. I think he's staying out to the very end. Oh no, and Echo that we was talking about his promotion bid then to silver next season, but it has unfortunately gone, it's flipped like his car almost has, and Echo's down to 15th position. Hopefully I haven't damaged the car, because then he doesn't need to pit. He doesn't need to pit again, I don't think. Lovely shot here from the nose cut. And as Luke then is now giving Kiki some cause for concern. Now I think the hard tyres might be quicker than the medium compound tyres, because the medium have done 9 laps on that McLaren, as has Serious Mushroom and Vintage. Scooby Stew's got a 3-second penalty in the back of the field there for Scooby Stew, unfortunately having a couple of issues then a lap or two ago. Kiki has now gone from defence to attack here. He is all over the back of Harlow Falls, and in the 6th position there. You need to ask him how do I pronounce his gamer tag? I thought I nailed it. Oh, and Echo's off again, and this is a nightmare race for Echo in the Alfa Romeo. But remember, he's got to keep his cool, because he does have a good chance of points still. But he may need a safety car now. We've already had 2 in this race, and it's very exciting the United States Grand Prix already. And I am regretting taking off my ALR sweatshirt, which of course I purchased in the store almost a month ago now, goodness me. And to be honest, that's what it is. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It does definitely make you sweat. But then again, I'm just a sweaty guy, to be honest. Probably, I don't know. Probably because I'm hot, and not the good way either. TK. Oh, TK is off the circuit. Oh my goodness gracious me! Did he get a helping hand there for dinner, or was that I don't think he did. I'm just luckily the stream's a couple of seconds behind me. And yes, I don't think he did. I think it was a mistake there for TK, and he has lost the lead then. And look at that then. I wonder if that's some synchronized swimming there for the Mercedes team. D-Mac is on the outside, past his teammate, and away goes Lucas now all over Kiki here. And of course, Lucas losing an abundance amount of time. Remember though that he does not need to pit. He is in the box seats now. Marsky all over the back of TK as well in the AlphaTauri. Remember, he has made a stop here, hasn't he? Vintage doing a great job, as is Serious Mushroom and Dynamo Dan, but they've all got to pit again. Harlow Fowles is also in 5th position at this moment in time then, into the hairpin. Now Luke needs to get some DRS, and he needs to get out in front here, but at the moment then, I think that the man who's leading this queue then is the very Serious Mushroom in 3rd position at the moment. And of course, he's got some very good straight line speed, hasn't he? Remember, as Itemizer's got past Styles here, Itemizer, another driver is going to be sitting quite happily in the box seats here in 12th position, and the safety car may have helped him. Echo's 18 seconds back at the moment now. Unfortunately, that is going to be quite painful. Lap 11 out of 28 here. The medium tyres, I think, are going to come in the not too distant future, maybe a couple of laps or so. Styles has dropped down to 14th position then with the soft shod cars flying through the field, and now up into 13th position then. Look at these cars here. We've got a Haas, we've got a Ferrari, we've got an Aston, we've got a McLaren, and we got Red Bull all in the mix here then, all battling for third position, all on different strategies as well. This is magnificent. This is exactly what bronze is all about on Tuesday nights, of course. Then it is a perfect way to get yourself out of the early week blues, isn't it, with a bit of ALR action, isn't it? And also it's perfect for me as well, because usually I'm munching on a sausage roll, and look at this, and it's Luke is on the, oh, magnificent, absolutely incredible there from Luke. Oh, I love that. But look, Kiki's not loving that at all though, is it? Because he wants to get his position back, doesn't he? He doesn't want any of this. He wants to get back in the action on the back of Foles, who's in 5th position, but Foles, who is, of course, he is on the hard tyre, and now we got Luke past, and remember, Foles is not pit yet. Kiki on the outside, then he's on the inside. Luke is, he's up in 5th position there. Luke is in the box seats to win this Grand Prix as it stands at the moment now. And look at that, then, as Dynamo Dan has got past Serious Mushroom. That is a crucial part of this race, and Foles has got past and up into 5th position now. And now we got D-Mac also on the inside as well. So real goodness, they're queuing up behind the drivers here. TK's got a 3-second penalty, and him and Sickers Muck are fighting tooth and nail here. Remember that TK was in this race. He's up the inside past the Sickers Muck there. Sickers Muck needs to come to the pits, I think, there. So does TK sooner or later, but the medium tyres are not going to be as happy as the hard tyres are at the moment. Jinner staying out then at this stage of the race. I remember the gap between the championship rivals is at 26 points coming into this race. Into the pits comes Serious Mushroom, and he is triggering the undercut here in the United States Grand Prix. We're on board with his teammate at the moment, on board the nose cone, but here comes Kiki again, having a sniff on the inside of Luke then, as he has not finished with Luke, has he? He is not happy with that outside manoeuvre that Luke did earlier on this race. It was a cracking manoeuvre, but I think the Kiki wants a bit of revenge on that, doesn't he? Here comes D-Mac as well. D-Mac, another driver like Luke, who I think is a de facto second in this Grand Prix now, isn't he? When all the pit stops have been shaken out, when everything has been done and dusted, the drivers will be, I think it will be Luke leading with D-Mac in second position. I think Itemizer will be thirdish, something like that. I do not know, to be honest. I'm just trying to get it. I'm trying to fathom it from my head as I go along, which is probably not the way to do it, is it? As my mental arithmetic over the years has really failed me. As remember one time, as I forgot to crown Glock the champion in the first ever silver season, and I think I did that for Emerson as well in the 5th season as well in Singapore. Just watching TK going down into the hairpin. TK, who of course was sitting pretty, but unfortunately spun from the lead just a couple of laps ago. Lap 13. What is Serious Mushroom? This is beautiful. It's absolutely fantastic. He's now got some qualifying laps there going on the. Look at those shiny new pair of boots there for Serious Mushroom. Let's see what he can do. He is going to be a major factor in this race. Vintage stayed out. Dynamo Dan stayed out as well. So has Luke then. I'm wondering if they're going to go on to. Do you reckon? I don't think so. Surely not. They can't go onto the soft tyres. I don't think the soft tyres will last long. Cars into the pits. Cars into the pits. We've got Kiki into the pits now, and I'm wondering if he is defending from the undercut from Serious Mushroom. He stops on his marks there for the McLaren Mercedes team. Car 13 now. Kiki has been quick in qualifying, 2 pole positions this season. However, the race has not been too great. I think that I'm sure that we had this. Yeah, look at that, the undercut. Then there is Kiki, and here is Serious Mushroom. And I'm wondering then if the hard tires are just not firing up quickly enough, because look, and here he comes, and then Serious Mushroom would like to get past as quickly as possible. So Echo's got a 3-second penalty, but I think the hard tires have not fired up quickly enough, have they? And that's cost Serious Mushroom position. However, I think though that the longer that these drivers stay out, the better it's going to be for Serious Mushroom. Echo off the circuit. having a nightmare race, but he is still in this one there, even with the horror show that's going on. Remember that the pit under safety car has almost earned him a free pit stop in this race, I remind you. So so Echo fans, do not worry too much. Well, he's having a great race there, Echo, but do not worry too much there, because he's still in it, I feel, to get some major points for himself and the Alfa Romeo team. The only Alfa Romeo left in the race there. Stopping seconds out the race, Collins out the race with Brooksy and Winnie out of the race as well. Got 3.6 seconds at the moment there. When is Jinder going to come into the pits? I think he's going to be out for a couple more laps. So Vintage in the pits, Don Madan in the pits as well. Let's see where those two drivers come out now. As Harlow Fowles has set the fastest up of the race on lap 14 of this one. Coming across the line now, Don Madan then, who's in the pits. And so also in the pits is the Williams then. And he's going to get out in front of the championship leader, which is Don Madan. Kaz also in the pits. Where's Kiki? I think these drivers are going to come out. Yes, so it looks like that the hard tires are not firing up quickly enough. And look, that's why, because look at this, and these two drivers have now got up Dynamodans on the medium tire again. That's because I think the Dynamodans started on the hard tires, didn't he? So now he has gone to the medium tires. He has got the preferred strategy at this stage then for Dynamodan, and let's see how that one plays out. But yes, I think the hard tires are not firing up, are they? So the undercut is really not helping at the moment then. Every driver that's tried the undercut, then Kiki and Sirius Blusham have not been able to keep their positions at this stage, have they? Jinder leads 4.5 seconds in front of Luke now, but Luke, of course, does not need to make another stop. Harlow and Foles does have to make another stop then, I believe, and D-Mac also needs to make a stop as well. TK does, D-Mac does not mean, TK and Sickers Muck probably do. Look at this, and this is battle between Sickers Muck as Dynamodan has now got past. That is the medium shod of Ferrari now. This is the point now of Dynamodan can try and really get himself into the flow of things. Jinder is going to be on the medium tires as well, of course, but he is going to stick out for a couple more laps, and he comes across the line once again and to complete lap 15 of this Grand Prix. Over half distance now in this bronze race, and as into the pits comes TK then. Sickers Mutt then it's still got Marsky and Itemizer for company then as they come across the line. And remember, Itemizer doesn't need to pit either yet. The reason why the strategy is so all over the show here is because, of course, we had two safety cars, but we had one around lap, I can't remember what lap it was now, but around lap 7, 8 in this Grand Prix. And it has really thrown up a bit of a curveball here. TK is right out next to Vintage, but he's in front of Kiki on the medium tires now. TK is and that is perfect there for TK. That spin earlier on this race may have cost him the lead then, but let's see where he can go from here on in then. But look at that then, as he's trying to fire those tires. Like Kiki had a lot of momentum there, but unfortunately just dropped back there. Itemizer out of the hairpin here. Here comes Scooby-Shoo's got a 3-second penalty. Marsky all over the back now, and he passes Sickers Mutt. Then remember, Marsky, no, he hasn't, because look, and Sickers Mutt there on has still got a bit of grunt in that Mercedes car. The Honda powered AlphaTauri, unfortunately, was not really putting up the power there, was he? And unfortunately, but it doesn't matter, didn't it? Because still Sickers Mutt did lose out there, and that's a bit of a day late and a dollar short there. And Sickers Mutt there going off the circuit, and Itemizer are going through as well. There's I think Sickers Mutt there still an opportunity there. That corner can very much throw you, can it? There, it's very enticing. You does it. I must have done that a few times as well. Harlow Fowles in the pits, and Jinder in the pits as well, and so the race leaders in the pits, and Sickers Muck has had enough of those tires, and he is now also into the pits, and Luke leads the race with D-Mac in second position. That is the battle for the lead now. Jinder is now on the medium compound tires. Marsky in third position. Itemizer are in fourth. Jinder is in fifth position. Dynamodan has set the fastest lap of the race. He's gone purple. There's his championship rival, and they are now going to be together on the road. It's gone purple here. And he has got the fast on the race. Harlow Fowles that is now going to be under the caution from TK here as well. Magnificent there. There's, now the drivers on the medium tires should have a pace advantage. Then we'll keep an eye out for this. Look at Stars in fifth position as well. Marsky in third position. Itemizer making his way in fourth position. But D-Mac and Luke are going to go head to head now for the Grand Prix win then. we're keeping an eye on Jenner, but with 11 laps to go, I think that this may be a bit too much of a stretch for Jenner. But more importantly, he is in front of his championship rival and is still eating into that lead. But he would like to be. We would like to get more points over his rival. But Dynamo Dan is just so good in these races, isn't he? As he seems to. Dynamo Dan just seems to really make the best of a bad job, and that is such a unique skill to have in these Grand Prix. As Dynamo Dan, he has made a habit of it in his career, and now he's really shining bright here tonight, isn't he? As is Jenner as well. And it's great to see both these drivers going hammer and tongs then for the championship. We've just 5 races to go after this as we go to the heights of Mexico next week for the Mexican Grand Prix. I am not going to try and do what Knowles did last night, which was do a beautiful interpretation of the saying that the James Rodriguez circuit, or something like that. Yes, I'm definitely going to do that. I could barely speak the English language. Watching TK, who's got the fast lap of the race. We're not watching TK, we're watching Itemite on the boat in 4th position. Gap at the front is still yo-yoing around. It was 1.8 seconds last time we checked in with the front runners. The gap is down to 1.5 seconds now, so 0.3 of a second has been taken out of Luke, the race leader, in the last half a lap or so. Well, the last lap I would say then, because we're back to exactly where he was before. We've got Jenner, who is all over the back of Styles here. Jenner would like to get past quite quickly. Here's the 2 blue cars. Go head-to-head then up the inside, track position there for Jenner, and I think he'll also have DRS as well, would he? Because the DRS detection point is before that hairpin. Look at how much he's gained. Yeah, he's got DRS as well then. So really, unfortunately, Styles said has not only got overtaken there, but he lost the DRS detection zone as well. Dynamo Dan then is just a couple of seconds back. Then TK, I think he's going to be concerned about, as Harlow Fowles doing a good job in that Aston Martin in 9th position there. Very good strategy calls there from Fowles at the moment. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff indeed from the Aston Martin driver then. I think this is only his 2nd race in bronze then. Last time he raced was, I think, it was back in Saudi Arabia, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me. So I think he was taking over nation there. Oh, Vincent's off the circuit, and Kiki and Vincent were very close up, but Vincent has got out the way and let Kiki through there. So not sure what happened there, but Vintage has elected to let this battle proceed without him. Serious Mushroom then, who of course tried to go for the undercut, but unfortunately it's not worked out at all. He's dropped all the way down into 11th position, Serious Mushroom there, and that is a shame indeed. Echo then down in 14th position, and unfortunately it's not his strategy hasn't gone too well at all. As we just left Kiki, and he's dropped down into 12th position there. A penalty for Itemizer, lap 19 out of 28 here in this race, and Kiki is dropped down in 12th position. Serious Mushroom now up into 10th position. Itemizer would like to get past the medium runner of Marsky as quickly as possible, but now as his teammate BI I wonder if Itemizer will let his championship contender teammate go, or will he have to fight for it? This is going to get very interesting indeed then. TK all over the back of Dynamo Dan now as well. We're going to keep an eye on both these battles, or will we? Because I think we should keep an eye on this one first, as it is Dynamo Dan who has got past Itemizer, and Itemizer has a Jenner at 3 abreast, and Jenner is through and up into 3rd position. And Marsky in 4th, and Itemizer has somehow gone from Salvin in 4th position again then. And Itemizer back into 4th now. Marsky has not got the tire grip that he would like. Then Diamond Dan has got past as well. Styles is also dropped to 9th position there. So we had a lot of action there, and I have no idea what's going on. But the end result is that Jenner is now 11 seconds away with just 9 laps to go in this race from the hard shot D-Mac and Luke there. Itemizer is in 4th position. Marsky in 5th. Diamond Dan 6th. TK in 7th position with Harlow Falls in 8th position. Styles in 9th. 10th position is Serious Rusher into the pits. Comes Styles now, and I think he'll be on the medium tires into the end of the race. He's going to be quick as well. Styles is keeping an eye out for that fastest lap then, which you get a bonus point. Doesn't matter where you are, as long as you finish the race, then you will get the bonus point then for fastest lap. Back on board now with TK. Marsky is still hanging on to Itemizer here as he does. It's just showing that the hard runners or the hard tires are not on the best of time up there. Gap is down to 9.8 seconds already between D-Mac and Jinner. Jinner is going to be very much there, a man to watch now, isn't he? Can he get second? Can he get the win from here on in? I must say that that would be absolutely incredible, audacious, and potentially championship winning if he can. But we'll see how this one transpires, because Dynamo Dan does not seem to have much pace in the card moment, but he is keeping the TK and Harlow Falls in his bay at the moment. If I can get my words out, that would be a miracle, wouldn't it? But Dynamo Dan keeping the two drivers of TK and Falls in play for the minute then. Behind him for the minute then is Vintage is now all over the back of Serious Mush, and then Vintage as a TK is through and passes Dynamo Dan. What's happened to Dynamo Dan? And I'm not sure that, because we just flicked away from that, and that's appalling timing from Mr. Director. Who is this guy? He's obviously Ginger. But Dynamo Dan is now dropped behind. TK, and that is not good at all. Echo's got a 3-second penalty. Hats off for Echo for keeping going, but it's becoming a miserable race there for the man who's in the championship. Dynamo Dan technically hasn't lost the position, has he? Because he's still 6th, and he started the last lap in 6th position as well. They are catching Itemizer, so they might be able to get another position there for Dynamo Dan. 8 seconds the gap is at the moment there between Jinner and D-Mac then. So it's coming down, but it's not coming down quick enough, and Jinner's going to have to find an extra gear if he can find one in that Alpine there. As I said, Alpine are not going to win the Constructors here tonight, but they could potentially win it in Mexico in a week's time. Well, even at this stage, they won't be able to win it actually in Mexico in a week's time either. So it will be the Constructor Championship. We'll be going to the sprint event in Brazil in 2 weeks' time then. Fantastic. Unless, of course, you're an Alpine fan, then it's not fantastic, really, is it? Marcy's on the soft tyres. We've only seen the max we've seen the soft tyres do is about 6 laps on Kaz's car. Yeah, the fuel's going to be low now. There's going to be a lot of Pirelli rubber laid on this circuit, but I think that is still a stretch then for the soft tyres of Marsky. Now, Serious Mushroom is going to have to get defensive here, because he's got Kiki and Vintage there all ready to take away his 8th position there. Winnie has left the session, and at least Winnie was still in here that long then. Hats off to Winnie. I wonder if he was helping out one of the drivers. And of course, we usually see Brooksy helping. Percy helping out Brooksy. Unfortunately, Percy couldn't really get involved much tonight because Brooksy was out before the end of the second or third turn in this race, which is such a shame that Vintage all over the back then. But it's TK. We need to see. There he is, and all over the back of Itemizer. Gap is down to 7.7 seconds, and with 6 laps to go in this race, and this is going to be a tight end then. And Itemizer, I think he's not going to have much defence here, is he? Unfortunately, Itemizer, we are now going up into turn 1, I should say. If I ever know this track, then it would be a miracle, wouldn't it? Really, it's not like it's been on the counter since 2012. 10 years, goodness me. And it's all status quo then. So exactly how it finished the last lap, more or less. Anyway, Scooby Shoot's got a 3-second penalty down in 16th position now. Bit of a blow that is Echo and Marsky are having a good old scrap here for 12th and 13th position now. Echo's still on the hard tyres. I think Echo would like a safety car, but I don't think at this moment he's not getting one. But look! Now who's in DRS? But no, he isn't. He's not in DRS yet. Isn't a Mercedes driver D-Mac, but he is closer. Itemizer's off the circuit, and TK is through, and so is Dynamo Dan as well. And Dynamo Dan has got a great run on TK, and he is through, passes the American driver, moves himself up into 4th position. And Junior would be very disappointed to see that, won't he? TK is staying on the outside here. He is not having a look, though, is he? They're going in going into turn 13, I think that is there. But Dynamo Dan is up in the 4th position now, since that's kind of helped him up there, because he was behind TK, and TK, I was struggling to see him getting past him, but look at this, and he's fighting over it, and he's going for it there on the inside of turn 18. Dynamo Dan is fighting, he's got the championship as well, remember, and TK does get the position, and it does feel like it's proper championship deciding time here in bronze, isn't it? You've got to be so careful, haven't you, with your rivals really trying to get past at the moment, then, and going up into turn 1 once again. But TK is still in front in 4th position with Dynamo Dan in 5th. Harlow's Falls in 6th position at the moment. Itemizer are down in 7th, unfortunately, after having a after having a spin just a lap ago, which kind of bunched these guys up. There's item. Well, we didn't even see him actually. He's on 17 lap old hard tires. The gap is down to 6.2 seconds between Jitter and D-Mac. Oh my golly gosh! And D-Mac has had a problem somewhere because he was within DRS range. He's not anymore. He's lost 0.4 of a second somewhere. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Aston Masters. Great energy in your commentary, bro. Makes league racing fun to watch. There. Surprised you can understand what I can say sometimes. So I got to say it's. To be honest, I'm all over the show. Sometimes it is maybe good fun to watch there, but it's not very informational, is it? If you try to work out what's going on. But hey, I try my best. You would have thought I would have got to grips with all this by now, but I'm a very slow learner. Luke is leading the way, still by 1.4. He's very good in the final sector, Luke, isn't he? That's where he's gaining time out on D-Mac, I think. Jitter's got it down to 5.7 seconds at 23 out of 28 here. This is going to be edge of your seat stuff, or maybe edge of your poof, depending on what you're sitting on. That's what I'm sitting on at the moment. Then it's I've hurt my knee. Usually I stand up, but I can't tonight, as I'm not so very well. Ginger! Oh, and that's an Aston Martin off the circuit, and it's Hollow Fouls, and unfortunately he's had a foul, and he's off the circuit. He's got I don't know how he's got a 10-second penalty there. He was just trying to, good stuff indeed. Yes, I feel that we'll have to wait for Smithy's decision on that then, unless, and he's off again, and I think that's frustration for the Aston Martin driver. He was having a great race up until that point, and oh dear. Serious Mushroom under 7, Vintage 8, Kiki in 9th position there. What a shame there from Foles, and because he was having a great, because they were having such a good race there, weren't they? Spin then a 10-second penalty, which Smithy, I think, unless Smithy was having a bad day, and maybe he didn't have the tea he wanted or something like that, I think that Smithy would have got rid of that 10-second penalty, because Foles was trying to stay out of the way, but that has all but ended his chances and Aston Martin's chances of getting some good points tonight, and that could be crucial in the Joint Constructors Championship as well, as we mentioned earlier on. 24 out of 28, and look at that gap. It's down to 4.5 seconds there. Jinner is eating it down very slowly. TK, who is a Dynamo Down, remember, is behind him on track, but he is in front of him in terms of the race time, because look at that. Then there is a penalty. What's going on here? Then we've also got Marsky and Sickers Mutt there fighting for position. Marsky back up to 10th position there. It shows how wrong I was on the soft tires. He's flying out there at the moment. Marsky isn't he? He's absolutely doing a great job for the Alfa Romeo team. Alpha Tari, wrong Alpha that was. Thank you very much to whoever done draw today. Virtual high five for you, my good sir. Donovan Dam, D-Mac, and Serious Mushroom man for draw today. Get your votes coming in, ladies and gents, because that is almost as important as the race win. I don't think yellow flag. And what is sick as Mark, who's off at turn 19 now, off camber corner that is, and he recovers now, but sick as Mark, that's almost ended his chances of potentially getting any points here. We might be able to get fastest lap then. Vintage, who is in 9th position there, keeping an eye on what Kiki could do. The gaps on now. Dynamo Dan has had a nightmare first sector here, hasn't he? On board then with the man who is second in the championship, and at the moment he is only whittling the gap down by 3 points then. So the gap is coming down to 23 points at this moment in time. McLaren of Scooby Shoo, that turn 19 is being very precarious here tonight, isn't it? Very precarious indeed that as he comes through the final turn there. But that's Jenner, look at that, he's got it under 3 seconds just about, didn't he? And looking back at this battle here, because Serious Mushroom is still giving a lovely tow to Kiki and Vintage, but Serious Mushroom has got enough top end speed there to keep himself in front. Then Marsky has got a 6-second gap. That's that is quite a big gap. Lap 26 out of 28, 3 laps to go. There's his target set for Jenner. D-Mac and Luke there. Just if I was still Luke there, a reserve driver, otherwise he would be in for driver of the day because he's been superb. D-Mac there currently has got 100% in the vote there. We've got Donovan Down and Serious Mushroom also in line for driver of the day as well. Keep those votes coming in, ladies and gentlemen, but I've got to say, it does depend on how this race goes. On board Jenner now, 2.2 seconds the gap is. Hasn't got enough oomph left in these tyres there. I think it's going to be an attack on the last lap, isn't it? I think for Jenner. I think the P1 might be a bit of a stretch for Jenner, but P2 will not be, and that'll be again eating into the lead of Donovan Dunn. He will not take lead in the World Championship if it finishes like this. He will not take lead in the championship if he finishes second, and he won't take lead in the championship if he wins Zebra. Sickers Muck off the circuit on soft tires, going for a fast lap, but Sickers Muck damaged the car, and a bit of a nightmare end to the race there for Sickers Muck. Unfortunately, Jenner's got it down to 1.5 seconds there, 1.6 I should say. We're on board now with the man who's second in the World Championship. Donovan Dunn is got it back to under a second then. Itemized on 10 seconds, a further drift mode, then 20 laps on those hard tyres, as has the two drivers in front. Kiki is past Serious Mushroom. There he goes, he's through up into 7th position. Serious Mushroom down into 8th there. And he's been battling for most of the second race there for 7th and 8th there. Serious Mushroom has there, but I think it's still a good number of points there for himself and the Haas team there. Lovely somebody there. Kaz and Echo are also on a good scrap then. Echo's, it's been a nightmare race for Echo, but hats off to Scooby Stew, to Sickers Mug, to Styles and to Echo and Kaz as well for sticking at it, which has been a very, very difficult race. And on board now, and D-Mac has really dropped off the back here. Here's Jenner now then, of course, remember, he is on the medium compound tires. He's all over the back of D-Mac now. Echo's got a 3-second penalty. Look at the gap, he's already 3 seconds in front. I think that that's a stretch too far. D-Mac is thinking more about the fence here. Echo's into the pits, and look at this, and D-Mac is lost out, and Jenner's off into second position. And that is that's only and that's a point swing of about 6 points, I think, something like that. We'll look at that in a bit then. But Jenner, but look at this, so D-Mac is coming out of there, and Jenner would rather just float away here, but he's out of deployment there. But he's going for it. He's having a look, and where is he? Jenner there is just giving him as wide berth as much as possible to D-Mac. Is not in the championship battle. Jenner is there. Remember, we just seen that with TK and Donovan Dan a few laps ago. Has got no speed left, has he, on those 21 lap old hard tyres. But that is an important moment then for Jenner. He is now going to motor away, but I think that the win is just too far off it there tonight there for Jenner then. But once again, he is cutting into the lead then. He is cutting into the lead of Donovan Dan then, and is ever closing in on that gap then for the championship then for bronze. And goodness gracious me, final lap of the United States Grand Prix. This has been a cracker, hasn't it there? An absolute doozy. Itemizer is very much coming out of the cost now for Kiki, who's trying to go salvage some points, and this could be 2 points finishes in the row for Kiki, which would be very good for Zach Brown and for the McLaren team. Itemizer are using the part of the track that we don't rent there outside, on the outside curb of turn number 20. And he's through and up into 6th position. TK's got a 3-second penalty. That would be an extra 6 seconds on the board. That shouldn't affect his position, I don't think, because Kiki's about 13 seconds away. But this battle, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, is I don't think we ain't gonna get a resolution of that until the very end, very final stage of this Grand Prix. What a drive it's been from Luke there. Unfortunately, we haven't seen much of Luke in the last half part of the race set. But Luke has driven an absolutely stupendous race tonight. I think this is his first race in bronze all season, if I'm not very much mistaken. I'm just trying to have a look now. Let me get my magnifying glass out. I don't think he's raced at all in bronze, but I've got to say, one starts, one win there for Luke then, as he comes into the final couple of corners now, and Luke will be very happy with this time, won't it? One start, one win then here this season for himself and the Red Bull team. Luke wins the United States Grand Prix. What an incredible performance there for Luke. And yes, called the strategy just about to perfection then for Luke. Well done, the reserve driver then really helping the Red Bull team then, and that could be vital in the Constructors' Championship as well. Dynamo Dan finishes 4th today and gets 12 points out, but he is 6 points behind Jinner, and the gap is down to 20 points in the World Championship now between Jinner and Dynamo Dan with 5 races to go. It is squeaky bum time now in the battle for the Bronze Championship, the 5th champion of bronze. Who's it going to go to? Is it going to go to Jinner in the blue Alpine, or is it going to go into the Scarlet Ferrari of Dynamo Dan? Well, the only way to find that out is by continuing to watch the bronze action, which will be live from now until the end of the season. I don't think we've got any more breaks, have we? So this is going to be a very, very intense final couple of races then. So fast up there for Echo, so he will get that bonus point then, which is good for himself and the Alfa Romeo team, who did struggle tonight then, didn't he? Serious Mushroom, GG. Holy gosh, then I struggled then. Serious Mushroom did that. I think that was a great stint there for Serious Mushroom to get up to 7th. To get up to 7th there for the Haas team, and the Haas team also got 5th on their home race then. As I say in this part of the road, yee-haw! Well done to Luke then. As I mentioned, this is his first race then. First race in bronze this season, I believe. Anyway, I can't see him on my list. Wow, what a way to start it then. But Jinner now got the championship gap down to 20 points-ish, give or take. 20 points is give or take in the championship. And yes, 5 races to go then. 20 points separates the 2 in the World Championship there. But once again, Dynamo Dan making the best of a bad job then and getting himself from 10th to 4th then. Jinner also had a 5-place grid penalty as well after the incident in the pit lane in qualifying, which hopefully we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that qualifying incident with Jinner in momentarily. Oh dear, we've upset Serious Mushroom. D-Man gets draw today, but not one person voted for Serious Mushroom. Absolute travesty in the pit, in the comments there. Shocking behaviour indeed. But Serious Mushroom getting himself to 7th in the end. It was one of those races where you feel like you've really worked hard, don't you? But unfortunately, it didn't look very spectacular, did it? When you race, I'm not saying this Mushroom's race wasn't spectacular, but it was a hard-fought race indeed, wasn't it? Thank you very much to Kaz as well. I really appreciate your comments, and especially as I've got a sore throat. Right, let's take a final look at the classification then from the United States Grand Prix. And it's like this. Luke, I'm sure if someone tells me wrong, then just shout at me in the comments there. But it is Luke who won the race, his first race of the season, and he won it. Jinner second stayed, and of course Jinner has narrowed the gap in the championship down to 20 points. D-Mac, great drive from 19th to 3rd. I forgot he started 19th. Great drive from D-Mac. Dynamo Dan in 4th position, and that's a great recovery drive. TK in 5th, again, pole position being a poison chalice there. Kiki in 6th, the Mushroom in 7th, Itemites are 8th, 9th Vintage, 10th is Marsky, Hungry Stars 11th, Kaz 12th, Fowlos in 13th position there, Echo in 14th, Scooby Shoo 15th, Circus Buck in 16th position there. Sloppy seconds, Collins, Brooksy and Winnie all retired then for the United States Grand Prix. And Luke, I'm sure this is your first time you've raced in bronze this season. 1 start, 1 win then. Talk us about that.
Yeah, that was something. I wasn't expecting the win there. Yeah, 1 start in bronze, 1 win in bronze. I don't know if I can keep that record up in the future. But yeah, no, that was. I think the word there was intense, because it felt like there was just. I always had something happening. You know, first safety car period was terrifying, being behind, being up down in 3rd. And then obviously second safety car restart, I took a gamble, pitted for the hards. I pitted for hards so that if there was a late safety car, I could then pit for mediums. But obviously the league decided that they wanted to be clean and tidy after the second safety car restart. So I just sort of stuck it out, and D-Mac was all over me. You know, it was always between 1 second and 1.5 seconds. He never let up until the end. I could see Jinner was closing in the top left, and I was just, you know, praying that the laps would run out quicker, and they did somehow.
Yeah, just tell us about how you're feeling when Jinner was coming in, it felt like a Jaws movie, I suppose. But when they started battling, did you think, yes, this is my time then? Because the gap went up to 3 seconds then. So did you feel that that was the most important part of the race, or did you feel that you would have had Jinner covered then if he got past quicker?
I think even if DMAC didn't put up a fight against you, I think I might have just about had him covered. I mean, he did lose a lot of time in the battle with DMAC, but I felt like the tyres were just about holding on. I did have the tyre warning light come up on the last couple of laps, but I think it was I had a lot of ERS left, and I was just basically trying to put in consistent lap times. I wasn't trying to be quick, wasn't trying to be over the top. I just wanted to be consistent, and I achieved that. I think after everyone pitted for their stops, I stayed within about 3/10 of my personal best lap the entire race. I just staying consistent was the best I could do, really.
How difficult is it to judge that? That you may have Jinner at Bay then, because you must have been judging that right from the time the safety car went in. How difficult is that to guesstimate how the race is going to play out, or is it just kind of more of experience?
Well, I think it is more just sort of a guesstimate, really. And Jinner was ahead of me by about 3.5 seconds when he pitted for the mediums, and I knew that it was a relatively long pit lane here, but I know Jinner's a rapid driver, so it was really just about just sort of managing the tyres. DMAC a couple of times there got within the second of me, but I was just able to hold it out, and yeah, it was more of a guesstimation. I didn't expect to go to the end. As I said, I expected another safety car and pitting onto mediums or softs and going to the end there. But once I realised that the safety car wasn't happening, it was just sort of keeping DMAC just outside that DRS range, and then just hoping and praying that Jinner's tyres would go off at a reasonable point so that I could hold on to the lead.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Well done today, Luke. Brilliant drive. Yes, as Luke said, 1 bronze start, 1 win then. If he keeps that up, then goodness gracious me, that's going to be fantastic, isn't it? Let's come to Jinner then, who finished second today. But Jinner, it was getting very feisty towards the end there. But firstly, talk us about what happened in qualifying, because there seemed to be a 5-place grid penalty between yourself and Dynamo Dan. What happened?
What do you call it? I was coming into pit lane, and my front wing just caught wall, and then so I've crashed. I've started going in, and then Dynamo Dan's coming back at me, didn't ghost me a row.
Well, goodness me. And ironic how the two championship protagonists came to blows. I must admit, I did have a bit of a cheeky old grin there, but I do love a bit of drama. Let's come on to the race then. With both of you drivers then starting a bit lower down then, did you think that really hamstrung your race then? Because it did take you a little longer to get through, and you were still on the harder tyres then in the middle of the pack then. What was you feeling?
Well, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to start on hard tyres, because it's like, now I am definitely in middle at pack. It's like everybody's going to use the mediums trying to fight everybody, where I can just keep up with the DRS. Luckily, I managed to get through. There were a couple of safety cars, and Luke's strategy was just bang on, to be honest. I can't believe it.
It certainly was indeed. I reckon he's Mystic Meg. I'm going to have to go to him to tell my fortune. And then during the race as well, then with the safety cars coming out and things like that, you elected not to the pit then. So you was not even thinking remotely that the medium tires would go to the end then from that second safety car?
No, what do you call it? I didn't want to chance it. I thought with being near front, I was like, I can push TK, hopefully what they call it, he makes an error, or I can get past him, and then it's like, anybody else that were further down behind me, they're not near me in the championship, so the point swing still works in my favour.
It certainly does. And talking about people that's not near in the championship, you and DMAC was getting very close and down that back straight. How difficult was it to think, I just want to get past this guy, or was you just think about, oh, this is a great race then? How difficult was it to judge this race to also judge in the championship?
To be honest, looking back at it, I shouldn't have done some of the moves that I did do, because it's like, if I had got caught or someone had just clipped me, I'm losing points. But luckily, I managed to pull over a couple of great overtakes, and so I'm happy with the race. To be honest, I loved it, enjoyed it.
And now I think it's about 20 points, give or take, them between yourself and Dynamo Dan with 5 races to go. You're easing into that lead now. Dynamo Dan seems to be still putting in the performances and still keeping himself in it. But it's really getting into squeaky bum time now, going into Mexico in a week's time. How do you judge these races then? Is it still race by race, or do you have to think about the whole story?
Yeah, race by race, take it as it comes, to be honest. That's all you can do. yeah, just aim for the best possible. And the tracks that are coming up, luckily I like.
Oh, that's ominous, isn't it? Fantastic stuff. Well done, Gino. Well done to Lucas Wild on his debut here in bronze and to to take the victory on an audacious strategy as well. Hats off to D-Mac that came from 19th on the grid to finish third today and driver of the day. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then that is going to be it for bronze and for Kota on this Formula 1 2022 game. We're going to Mexico next week, which is going to be very high in altitude then. So, yes, hopefully I'll get my voice back. Otherwise I'm going to sound like sound very squeaky. Tomorrow night, Alex is going to take you through the 100% League, and as he mentioned last night, it's where ALR show the real F1 drivers how it's done in Baku tomorrow night. See you then. But for me, I'll see you in Mexico. Bye.